Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building. Y'all know how we do. We back with another banger, man. Y'all know how we do. Before we get started, we like to give our appreciation for you guys watching. But make sure you do that one important thing. Well, those two important things. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section of today's video. Leave us your thoughts. I love reading those comments and going through and listening to you guys' opinions, your thoughts, your perspectives, and even your cuss words. Because some of you just ain't right. Y'all just don't know how to express yourself in a proper manner. But it is what it is. You must express yourself, even if you can't get the words right. But today we are going back to what we once reported upon, but this time our boys at the Daily Camera, what is Brian Howell, a local Buff Beat reporter, gave his really good article on the fiscal earnings of the Colorado Buffaloes in Coach Prime's first year, that 4-8 season, 23-24 season, the season that everybody loves to talk about, and gave Prime a lot of crap for it. But Brian wrote a great article on that era because the financial report has been released, and we want to get his thoughts on it and a couple more of my opinions, because what was released earlier is now released in more detail, so we can talk about it. Let me take this out of my ear. We can talk about it even more on a bigger scale. So let's jump right into it. What Brian was talking about here is CU Buffs Athletics set records for revenue expenses in 2024 fiscal year. The Colorado shattered school records for football ticket revenue in Coach Prime's first season. And of course, as you see, is written by Brian Howell, updated on January the 27th, which was yesterday. So we're going to start right here. Deion Sanders' first year as head football coach of the Colorado Buffaloes brought in record numbers for tickets, merchandise sales, helping CU post a record amount of revenue and expenses for the year 2024 for the 2024 fiscal year. CU Athletics also received a higher than usual amount of financial support from the campus for the second consecutive year to help balance the budget as it navigates a period of rapid change in college sports. And boy, it is a big change that's happening in college sports. And still, there's one thing they still have to do, in my opinion, but we'll get to that in a minute. In the recent published NCAA financial report for the 2024 fiscal year, CU showed a net profit of $8,242,281. I'm sorry, $8,242,281. And remember, listen, when you're doing money, never use and. Never say $8,242 and 281 cents. It's $8,242,281. That's all it is. It's one complete sentence. The NCAA report includes some accounting differences due to the definitions of certain revenues and expenses that they included, which differ from CU's actual budget. According to the numbers provided by the CU to buffzone.com, the athletic department actually operated with a profit of $9,907,122 for the 2024 fiscal year. Technically, however, athletics finished with a profit only for the accounting records. In the 2023 fiscal year, athletics had a deficit of $9,000,000 $896,846. And this year's profit will cover last year's deficit thanks to campus support. So basically, they zeroed out because they made up for the money that they lost in the 2023 season. Because you got to remember, they have been on a 6-year deficit. They've been losing money for 6 years straight at Colorado. So Prime came in. He has finally evened the books out, balanced them out. They're at zero. So at the end of the 24-25 season, which will be in, I think, June, it should be a hell of a profit. Nevertheless, the 2024 fiscal year, which went from July 2023 to June 2024, saw the CU athletic department bring in roughly $142 million in revenue per CU's numbers, a significant jump from the previous record of $117 million a year earlier. That's a lot of money. 142 from 117. That's a hell of a jump. If that was a corporate office and you ballooned your profits from 117 to 142 in one fiscal year, CEO gets a hell of a raise, which Prime is the CEO, so he gets a hell of a raise. There was also a record high of $132 million in operating expenses for fiscal year 2024, about $5 million more than 23. Of course, you got higher operating costs. You got Prime coming in. You got more stuff to buy. You got better coaches to pay and hire. So yes, your expenses are going to go up because to get better, you have to spend money. To make money, you got to spend money. It's a zero-sum effect. So if you don't spend no money, you ain't gonna make no money. You can't start a business without spending money. There's always operating costs. Ticket and merchandise sales from 2023, Sanders' first season in Boulder, were a driving force behind the record revenue. Per the NCAA report, CU had $31.2 million in football ticket sales from the 2023 season, crushing the previous record of $16.57 million in 2021. Double, almost double your money in ticket sales in his opening season. And that was the 4-8 season. I bet you they sitting around 50, 60 million this year because ticket prices went up. CU also reported a combined $16.7 million in revenue from merchandise, licensing, sponsorships, and game day parking concessions. That number was also a record and nearly double the $8.9 million from the previous year. Another one, doubling up what you did before they got there. So before Prime came, we was making a little bit of money. And we was losing money, making a little bit of money. Prime didn't double up everything. So we making money hand over fist. Record attendance. CU sold out every home game in 2023 for the first time in program history. Another first. Every home game sold out in the first time in program history. That's including the national championship season. That's program history. That means since we've been playing football in Colorado, nobody has ever sold out every home game. Hell, he sold out all the road games too. Also led to higher expenses for game day operation, including security. The Buffs are also spending more on student athletes' meals and football staff, as Sanders has added more support staffers than the program had in the past. Of course. So what goes back to what I said in the beginning. You got to spend money to make money. Only way you get better is putting it all in. we were probably a little understaffed in comparison to our peers prior to Coach Prime's arrival. Corey Hillard, CU's Senior Associate Athletic Director for Business Operations, told the Buff Zone. Now I think it's probably right sizing. So we're trying to catch up to that from a budget perspective. Yes, you have to catch up with those other big schools with your budget spending. Like I told you in the previous video, Prime has still a smaller staff than most of the blue blood schools that are playing in that upper echelon of college football. You know, Saban had 96 staff members. Coach Saban is the reason why you can have unlimited people on your staff. He had the biggest staff in college football. While there were positives in the fiscal year 2024 budget, conference distribution slipped to $28.3 million for CU last year in the Pac-12 conference. And you got to remember, this is the last year that they played in the Pac-12, which was Prime's first year. Nearly $5 million less than the previous year, and about $7.5 million less than CU budgeted for that year. Whew, that's a big L, dog. When you already getting paid $5 million less than what you were supposed to get paid, and then you budgeted out $2 million more than what you were supposed to get paid because you were expecting to be able to cover that $2 million. So you lost out on the 5. You budgeted out for 7.5. So you didn't get the 5. So that throws you $5 million in debt. You spent the 7.5. So that puts you another $12 million. That puts you at a $12 million deficit off the jump. You done lost that money, which is a shame. Still, CU was able to show a profit in fiscal year 2024. Because of the financial backings of the campus, CU received roughly $27.1 million in direct institutional support for fiscal year 2024, with a large portion of that covering the deficit of the previous year and the conference distribution shortfall. So CU went into their own coffers and pulled out $27 million so they wouldn't go even further in debt. So you just taking L's all the way around. So right now, you what, $40 million in the hole. That's $40 million in the hole. The campus has been working with us over the last few years in cleaning up the balance sheet. In some of the previous fiscal years, deficits that all had different components to it: COVID, the Pac-12 shortfall in conference distribution due to legal settlement stuff. Here you said. Ultimately, here you said CU Athletic views the financial backing of the campus as a positive, as the university is supporting athletics through some turbulent times. Turbulent times are over. As long as Prime walks that campus, turbulent times are over. Because you're printing money at this point. Now your books are balanced. You bottomed out. You back to zero. You are back out of the red. You are moving your way into the black. And once you hit the black, it only goes up from there. In addition to the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 and 2021, CU Athletics had lower than projected conference distribution in the final years of its time with the Pac-12 conference. Realignment costs from CU moving to the Big 12 this past year, as well as a nationwide change that will lead to CU and other institutions providing more financial compensation to student athletes, has provided even more financial challenges. Yes, because now you got to pay these athletes that's coming on campus. Because now you're not getting the riffraff that you were getting before that was giving you 1-11 seasons, 3-9 seasons, 4-8 seasons. Now you're getting some true players, and true players cost money. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is that the collaboration and communication we were having with the university and the finance leadership team under the university CFO is at an all-time high, Hilliard said. With first-year chancellor Justin Schwartz's involvement, it has been really proactive in looking at what's coming and how the university can help support athletics in this new environment that all of us are entering, especially at the Power 4 level. Now, one of those reasons CU has taken a big hit for so many years because the president, they just hired a new president. The president that they had before this one was more educational focus than athletic focus. He wanted CU to be more of an Ivy League of the West instead of a football school. But reading books don't pay money. Sports pays money. That's what brings the money in. Now, the president that they just got is a sports guy. He came from a couple of other sports through football schools. So he understands how much of a priority sports and especially college football is for the school. But let's keep going. Support from the university will be important to CU's athletic success, here he said, as the next wave of conference realignment hits in the future. The knowledge that the institution is supporting us in that is there, he said, because I think that'll be a larger review of who's included and not included in the next round of reorganization. Yeah, everybody thinking that they're going to move to the Big Two conferences and the Big Ten and the SEC is going to swallow everybody up. I don't think that's so. But we'll see. If it is, that's 20 years down the line. It's not right around the corner. That takes a lot of time, takes a lot of organization. But if they organize it like they organize this NIL stuff, then hell, it'll just be put together and thrown together and it'll look like shit the first 4 years. Sparked by the December 2022 hiring of Sanders as head coach, he says CU Athletic is maximizing the current revenue streams that we have, but there are also rising costs for expenses. CU's relatively low number of varsity programs at 17 could be a benefit. However, for decades, CU has been on the low side among its peers in terms of varsity sports, with some schools having 30-plus programs. However, a future that includes paying student athletes will create challenges for some of those schools, including the possibility of cutting sports. Now, that is true. Those non-revenue producing sports, yeah, some of them gonna have to go. Like the crew team, yeah, we don't give a shit about your boat in the water, dog. We don't need that. You know, the dart team, the polo team, I'll need some professional esports teams. That's money. But y'all don't know what esports is, holler at your boy. I can tell you about it. He said of CU, I think we're right size for what's coming. CU still needs a baseball team. They get a baseball team, which means they're going to have to get a softball team. Title IX will make it. With that, CU Athletics feels like it has the supportive campus need to navigate the future, but also needs its fans and donors' help. Yes. I think the challenges are still paramount to we have to down to see that somebody typed that real bad. I think the challenges are still paramount. We have to have the support of our season ticket holders and donors and the partners we have strategically with campus through sponsorships to keep funding the needs of the operation under the guardrails that are in front of us. whatever that may be, Hilliard said. And yes, you're gonna need the support of your donors and your sponsors, because the 5430 Alliance is going to have to come back to life. I know they took it in-house, made it part of the program, but they're going to have to revitalize the 5430, because the money that the school will be able to provide the athletes is not going to be enough if you want to continue to get 5-star players coming to the university. Yes, you're going to get a $20 million, $25 million budget to spend on your athletes, but that's throughout all of sports. The bulk of the money will go to the football team. True. That's not going to be enough. When you're going to have multiple elite athletes that Coach Prime can recruit, that Coach Corey Phillips can recruit, the 5430 Alliance is going to have to return to its natural state to help the school recruit. Yes, the money that the school will be able to give a player is true, but then you're going to have to be able to say, here's your NIL money on top of that. On top of the minimum that the school is going to give you, we're going to be able to give you this out of this side. Go to Ohio State. Ohio State has 2 different collectives. Alabama has 2 different collectives. Most big schools have 2 different collective branches, and they work together. So we gonna give them this much, and you give them this much. Well, you all pay this player, and we gonna pay this player, and then when the collective bargaining and all that comes into play, when that law passes this year in June, when the school has to give the player a minimum amount of money, the big players will get the big money. The regular players will get regular amounts of money. But then you can go over to your collective and say, hey, this is the other package we got for you. That's what CU is going to have to do. They're going to have to revitalize the 5430 and probably get another collective. CU has the donor money. They have the alumni base. They're going to have to get those people to come out of their pockets. If they want to compete with Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, a lot of Texas schools, Baylor, because all these people down here in Texas got money. Every school in Texas ain't broke. TCU ain't broke. Baylor ain't broke. Texas A&M ain't broke. Texas Tech ain't broke. You got 3 Texas schools in the Big 12, and ain't none of them broke. Baylor was wearing shirts last year that said, we pay players. These people got money down here. How do you think SMU come out of the depths of hell from where they've been for the last 30 years? Absconded, given the death penalty from the NCAA. SMU got so much money, they joined the ACC and said, we don't even want y'all money. We don't need it. We good. We ain't gonna take y'all TV money. Just let us in the conference. That's how much money is in Texas. Colorado gonna have to get it together if they want to compete with these Big 12 these Big 12 Texas schools. But these people got money. Texas Tech got money. Baylor got money. TCU got money. Houston got money. 4 Texas schools in the Big 12, and they all got money. So Colorado better get it together, because there's some bread over here. But anyway, man, that's the article from the Daily Camera. Brian Howell and those guys. If y'all haven't get a chance, go over to the website and check out dailycamera.com. Give them a shout out, or check Brian out on his YouTube channel and his videos. He do podcasts with everybody, so Go over there and check him out. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get out of here. Appreciate y'all for watching. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all do your boy a solid. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to leave your comments down in the comment section. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Y'all make sure y'all have a wonderful day. Don't forget to tell the people you love that you love them. And we out of here. Make sure you watch the video I put up yesterday. It's very informative. It's information y'all need to know. I'm gonna drop some more videos like that sometime this week. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Love y'all. Peace.